We're back with Dr. Matthew Wagoner with Cone Health Triad Foot and Ankle Center, and he's answering all kinds of questions about foot safety during the summer. All right, when it comes to taking care of your feet during the summer, let's talk about some of the do's and the don'ts for that rough, cracked, dry skin.
So it's really important not to ignore the cracked skin and the dry skin because they can easily turn into wounds and infections. So make sure that you're keeping them hydrated, keeping some good moisturizer on them. You can put on moisturizer and put a sock over top to really trap that moisture in there. Also, too, you can put moisturizer on and wrap in some saran wrap to really trap that moisture on for like 30 minutes or an hour or so. Again, trying to keep that hydrated, really important. Again, making sure there's no cracks or open wounds and issues like that as well too.
All right, when you say moisturizer, my mind immediately goes to some kind of good smelling something kind of moisturizer. Is that what we're looking for? Or are we looking for something else?
So some of them are okay. Some of the Vaselines are okay, like Aquaphor, Cetaphil, Eucerin, all those types of moisturizers can be helpful for you.
Okay, gotcha. All right, nail care. What should we be doing?
It's important to keep the nails trimmed regularly, not too short, not too long. It's really important that you're either trimming your nails yourself or you're going to get a pedicure if you're able to, or if you are, again, someone who's diabetic or poor circulation or issues like that, making sure that you're seeking out a professional to help keep those toenails trimmed for you, to help prevent the ingrown toenails and the infections and issues that might come with long nails too.
Okay, I don't know if you all heard that, but the doctor said you should be going to get pedicures. That's what we all took from that. All right, with that said, how often is too often, right? And then what should we know about the do's and the don'ts about the pedicures?
So it just depends. Everyone's a little bit different based on how quickly they grow out. So some people go every month and some people go every like 6 or 8 weeks. So just making sure they're not getting too long where they're getting caught on your socks and your shoes and they're rubbing. Start to notice that and make sure that we are getting the nails trimmed on a regular basis. Making sure that we're keeping our feet clean, making sure that you're good to go into a pedicure salon, or if you're doing that at home, you're keeping your equipment clean. So if you're doing that at home, make sure that you're sanitizing your equipment. You're cleaning them with alcohol before and after use. So if you did have a little fungus or bacteria, that we're cleaning that, and you're not going to put it on somebody else if somebody else uses your equipment as well too. So making sure that we're keeping the equipment nice and clean is very important.
Okay, and is there something we should look for in the establishment that's doing the pedicures?
So making sure that they're cleaning out regularly, making sure that they're cleaning out where you're soaking your feet. Some people, they will use the liners and make sure the liners are being changed out. So making sure that, and it's okay to ask, make sure you ask that they've cleaned the equipment, or make sure they cleaned where you're soaking your feet. So it's okay to ask those questions to people to make sure that everything is nice and clean and sanitary to help prevent getting fungal infections or bacterial infections.
Like maybe even asking, can they use a new file for you, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I have some patients that will get pedicures and they bring their own equipment with them to make sure that everything is clean and safe.
Okay, let's talk about just foot hygiene, kind of like 101, like how to prevent sweaty feet or keep feet dry so that you prevent any kind of fungus.
Yeah, so sweaty feet, one of the common things that we see all the time, especially this time of year. So when it comes to sweaty feet, that can increase the odor to the foot, that can lead to athlete's foot, that can lead to toenail fungus. So making sure that we're choosing socks wisely is very important too. You don't think necessarily about socks, but the material to the socks is important. So in the summertime, trying to maybe wear a cotton sock. In the wintertime, maybe more of a wool sock to help wick the moisture away. I try to stay away from like the nylon socks or the synthetic fibers because that'll again trap the moisture in, or using a moisture wicking sock can be helpful to get the moisture away. Using antifungal powders inside your shoes can be good to help with the moisture. Also, sometimes using an antiperspirant spray, not a deodorant, but an antiperspirant spray, and you can spray your feet. That will help kind of clog the little sweat glands for a short time to help prevent the sweat and the moisture as well. Make sure that you're washing your feet daily. Sounds simple, but sometimes you're showering. You don't think necessarily about just washing with soap and water your feet sometimes. Make sure you're doing that daily or twice a day, particularly after activity. Bring an extra pair of socks. Say you're going to the amusement park, you're going to be out for a hike, pack an extra pair of socks. Change your socks in case they get waterlogged or sweaty. And change your shoes every day. Try not to wear the same pair of shoes. If you do that, that'll allow time for the shoes to air out, and again, to help prevent any fungus or bacteria. And try to avoid sharing shoes with people because you don't know what the last person had or how sweaty their feet were, or if they had any type of fungus or bacteria as well.
All right, we have just under a minute. What are some red flags we should watch out for to indicate we need to go to the doctor?
So and obviously any type of injury, if you start to have, say for ingrown toenails, if you notice any redness or swelling or any drainage, if you have pain that's just not going away, if you notice any cuts or scrapes, particularly if you are diabetic or you have poor circulation or other comorbidities, making sure you're seeking professional help immediately and you're not waiting. I always tell people it's not silly. I would rather you come in, get it checked instead of waiting for it to become a bigger issue later on.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time and expertise. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.